So it's January 6th, the first Leasing Avenues interview for 2022, and we have my good friend Chris Chiappetta on with us. And Chris has got a heck of a story. Matter of fact, his bio reads a lot like mine. He might even talk about that part too. But I'd like it all to meet Chris Chiappetta.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Chris, your background, you started a leasing brokerage, I think, for a captive, and then in the machine tool space, then you became a lessor, and then obviously then you went to you sold the First Midwest Bank. Give us your quick tour of that.
Sure. You need to get a little background. I originally started out at Walter E. Heller as a sales trainee. I was supposed to be spend 6 months in collections, 6 months to a year in credit, and then 6 months to a year shadowing a regional sales manager and going into sales. So when I joined Heller, that gave me a little better view of the brokerage business. And what was going on in my head is I would see the transactions come in, I would review the transactions, we'd end up approving them and funding them, and then what happened was I would see the commissions going to these companies. And that's what got me interested in wanting to start up my own business. I realized the kind of money that could be made. The difference between me and those brokerage, what I felt was they had the contacts in the lending world. I didn't. I just knew how to read a financial statement. But my personality, I knew, stuck out, and I knew I could get lucky with my personality, and that's why I decided to go into the equipment finance area as running a company. I started out working for a small brokerage company when I left Heller. That small brokerage company used to sell paper to Heller, and they wanted me to come and join them. It was a 3-man operation that I joined. I actually got complete hands-on learning from them because I dealt with the president of the company and the vice president. And I had to go and sell my own transactions. They were such a small organization that they would open up their basically lenders to me and say, you brought this transaction in, we like it. You got to go drive by and see Liberty Bank on your own. So I learned right at a very young age, 27, how to work with banks, how to talk to them, because I was forced into that. And so while I was working for this small brokerage company, I started befriending a machinery dealer who sold machine tools. And what we did there was, after a while, they knew that I was a little frustrated with the small brokerage firm, and we decided to start a finance company together. I knew lenders. I knew the finance end. I knew how to talk to vendors since I worked for the small brokerage company. And we decided to start a small captive. But we didn't want to be a captive. It was captive in name only. My predecessor or my partner, Bob Lang, he was an importer of machinery, and he was a dealer in Illinois. I became also a dealer with him in Illinois. Our finance company grew so fast that he knew that to keep me on board and to keep everybody happy, we had to have a complete happy family. So I was a partner in the machinery company, a partner in the finance company. And within 5 years, the finance company grew so fast that we decided to get out of the actual machine tool business of selling machinery. It was semi-lucrative, but not as lucrative as running a finance company. And that happened in 2001. In 2001, we decided not to be in the selling more machine tools and to concentrate our efforts 100% on the financing of machinery.
Okay. What year was that?
That was 2001 when we got out of the actual machine tool business.
Okay.
Obviously, we started business in 1987.
Okay.
So you can see from 1987. So there was a 13-year period that we decided, 14-year period that we had both the machinery company and the finance company. It took about that long to realize if we put all our efforts into the finance company, we'd be better off in the long run.
So you weren't financing just the equipment from the captive?
No, that was never the game plan. The captive was a small company. We were probably at that moment in life selling 30 to 50 machines a year, and less than half those customers were going to finance. So that wasn't enough to keep anybody happy.
Got it.
And what I did Bob, was I leveraged Bob Lang's contacts. So he was selling machine tools in the 1950s. So what we did was, he was a 20-year-old guy, 22-year-old guy. Now go forward to 1987. All these people he dealt with over those 30-year time frame are now owners of machinery dealerships, presidents of importers, presidents of the actual manufacturer. We leverage that to the nth degree. And that's
Okay.
why we were such a strong player for a little bit in that machine tool market.
All right. All right. Take me from there.
So from the machine, once we started bringing in more transactions, we needed to develop a line of credit. We were a pure broker. We'd bring a transaction in, send it to a lender. The lender would approve it. The lender would document the transaction and pay us a fee. So we knew the next step was we needed to be a lessor. That was the step we had to take, being a lessor. And that was a difficult step to take because we had to work with a bank to loan us money. And now this is in when I got our line of credit, that was 1989 when we started looking for lines of credit. And at that moment in life, it wasn't like there was a lot. Today, banks understand finance companies a little bit. They would expect somebody to come and look for a line of credit for a finance company. When we did it, it was a very small percentage, and we struck out an awful lot trying to talk to banks and lending us money so we could turn around and lend it out. It was as a small company at that moment, generating 15 million, maybe a little bit more of annual volume. It was still a very difficult thing to do. We found a bank who decided to give us a line of credit. We had to back it. It was a $300,000 line of credit. We had to back it with a $300,000 CD. That's how our line of credit started in 1989. And we grew that $300,000 line of credit to $10 million. That's how long it took. And it took that long. It took approximately almost 15 years to go from 300,000 to 10 million. But it was really difficult. I know I saw you smiling there because it is kind of funny. 300,000. But at that moment in life, it was 1989. That was still a nice line of credit to have as an equipment finance group.